Here's the Audio Research SP14. This is a tube hybrid preamp from probably the early 90s, late 80s. It's got a toroidal power transformer. It's a really nice looking piece. A lot of film caps. Not too many electrolytics. So the owner was complaining that this preamp, after he turned it on, would take a really long time for it to start playing music. And I'll tell you, the first thing I did, it's the easiest thing to do, is I tested that tube. And that tube was actually pretty weak. This is actually a replacement tube I already put in. It tested much better. That is kind of an oddball tube. It's a 6DJ8. But unfortunately, that didn't fix the problem. So I had to read the manual. And the manual told me that this thing has got a muting function. And I've had an Audio Research preamp before. I had an old SP6. And they usually have some type of timed delay or a relay coupled to the outputs. So after a few seconds, in this case 45 seconds, the relays would click and then you'd get output. But for some reason, I figured this one was stuck in that muting mode and it never did want to come out of muting mode after you switched it on. So I started troubleshooting the time delay circuit. And the schematic showed me that this area here, we've got a couple op amps, little dip 8 op amps that drive the relay circuit. And it's gone now, I took it out, but there was a electrolytic cap right here. You can still see some remnants of the leads. That was one I wanted to test because that was it's kind of a critical part of the time delay. And here it is. It's an old axial cap, 35 volt, 1500 microfarad. And I'll test it for you right now. We'll see. We'll see how it acts. So we make sure we get our positive lead on the positive side. Negative lead on the negative side. So we're looking for 1500. Oh, wow. Not even close. We got 190 microfarad. Not even close to 1500. That is way beyond the margin of 20%. We're doing a leakage test right now. 78. Well, that doesn't seem bad, but this is a 35 volt cap, and my tester only goes to 25 and 50, so we're doing it on only 25 volts. Let's test again. All right, so that's a problem. So what I've already done is I kind of had to kludge together a capacitor just to kind of test my theory. Unfortunately, these are pretty obsolete now. You can still get them, but they're crazy expensive and they're not very good. That would probably end up being like $20 after shipping. I don't want to do that just to test my theory. So what I did is I kludged together a couple radial caps. And I'll show you right there. And I wired them in parallel. There's 1,000 microfarad and 220 microfarads, and that kind of gives you 1,500 microfarad. So that's just a temporary fix. I just want to test my theory, so let's give it a shot. I've already got my oscilloscope hooked up. I'm just hooked up to the outputs here, and then I got an oscillator. Let's go ahead and hook up the oscillator to the CD. Audio Research kind of does it backwards. They do the right channel on the top. All right, let's fire up the oscillator here. Now we're unplugged. I have to plug in my. Let's see if that gives us juice. And it does. All right, we're fired up. So let's see if we can get something on the output. Now, mind you, there is a 45-second delay. So that light's really dim right now, but after 45 seconds, let's give it a little bit of juice. We should start seeing something on this screen. It's a real beautiful piece. And that light should brighten after it comes out of mute mode. Let's make sure we're on CD. Yeah, we are. There it goes. And bingo. We got it. So now the fun part. I get to listen to it. That's it. Hope you enjoyed.